Chew and the jerk.
You know it's time to get this work.
The real raw, gutter, uncut, cold. No political corrections.
Always sleep.
Being awoke. We discuss politics and jokes.
Scribe, we lit.
There's levels to this before you was on your mama.
Harry Spears don't give a fuck.
We talk about race a lot, racism. Much love to my loyal bag holders.
Rollers, loaders.
We got them in the folders.
The whole world on our shoulders.
Spears and Steinberg.
Yeah.
Austin, right?
Austin Powers, Texas.
Yeah. I don't know if I asked you this last podcast, but they say that the Austin comedy scene ain't got the Zuzu pep that it once did. You feeling that?
Like all things, sometimes when something's brand new, it has a lot of sizzle, but the plate cools down a little bit.
Yeah.
But I still think it's here. I think it's here. I just think that it's an overwhelmed comedy it's not a culture. They didn't have time to develop a culture. Like, it happened. Rogan was out here, Tony came out here, Tony Heachwood came out here, and then it was, and then a lot of people came out here, not necessarily comics, podcast fans, people who hadn't even done an open mic, and it just overwhelmed the scene. And I think the scene's still developing. I think it's under construction, and I think it will be there. And I heard people blame this on Rogan and Tony, and I don't agree with that, because they did what they did in California.
Right.
And so they just brought it out here. And if you, they brought it out here and they grew, but the scene has to cultivate its own culture. And that's not on Rogan. I mean, he built a beautiful club. It's there. People are complaining. I heard people complaining, yeah, well, it's so cliquish, we can't get into it. Well, there's a problem, that because there isn't a comedy culture. Like when I came up, when I came up, there was I worked with different comics at a club, and I understood the comedy owner made me well aware before I ever went to put one foot into the green room that it wasn't my green room. It belonged to the headliner, and you have to work it the way the headliner wants what they want. You have to, these people that come, they don't have any idea that the culture didn't catch up to the people. And so Rogan's protecting his club so that people can come in and enjoy it. I know that there's going to be mistakes that happen. I know the Dave Attell one with his people, but these mistakes are going to happen until we work this culture out and people are understanding of what really needs to, how this needs to flow.
So what's the problem? People keeping the Cheetos in the green room?
Not in the, as a headliner, you might want some peace in your green room. And people are coming in, and this, I learned this from Attell. I was very excited to meet Attell because I was a fan, and I fanboyed a little bit on him, and he doesn't want fans in the green room.
You told this story.
Yeah, he wants comics in the green room, but not to this guy. He wants comics in the green room. So that's the same thing that happens here. They're protecting themselves so that they can enjoy their space without having just like fans that are just going to overwhelm that situation. You want to have a good time when you're doing comedy. You don't want to be overwhelmed with a fan in the green room. The fans are outside the seats.
They're actually very selective about the green room.
Yeah, I know, but that's because of what was happening. They had to be very selective. You really don't understand.
Whoa, criticism. Oh my God. Keep telling the dude, Justin.
Yeah, I think when
Have you ever heard it before?
When this thing first popped off, yeah, I felt the excitement of, Rogan's got the club and Kill Tony was happening here. And I remember when we first came here, Ron White was the guest on Kill Tony.
Segura moved out here.
Yeah, so like you kind of said, I mean, the plate was hot. But I really don't see this developing anything past what it was, which is to say, I don't think it's going to maintain any certain level of excitement. Because when you look at Creek in the Cave or any of those other spots, those just feel like, bars trying to have a place to tell jokes. And other than maybe Kill Tony spot and however long that lasts, and Rogan's spot, the excitement seems more about the bars than comedy.
I feel completely different. There's great little clubs out here. I think they've inserted too many places that people are doing shows that are too big for the shows, or the room isn't conducive to good comedy. But like the Velveeta room is an amazing room. It's a small room. These other rooms are going to catch or are going to be part of this. whether, and again, it's cliquish. So like Rogan's Room is one thing, Velveeta Room is another. What's going to happen though, if this city grows the way that it's supposed to grow, which is going to be I think they have it projected at 2001, 2100, that is going to be the fourth or fifth largest city in the country. So the comedy scene is bound to follow that. As it grows, the comedy scene is going to grow. They have the people here. They just have to people have to develop a culture. The scene was created before the culture was made. That's the problem to me.
Okay. Incidentally, some of y'all might ask, did I ever do Rogan or hold a podcast that I told you I was going to do? And the answer is no, because come to find out, this sucking scumbag Thomas, let me get this nigga's name right. So anybody
don't get sued for putting his name out there.
He ought to be worried about being sued for scamming people.
Yeah.
Thomas McCormick. If there are any comedians out there, podcasters, and you ever get approached by a guy named Thomas McCormick,
who says he's a booker,
he is full of and I should have been smarter about it, but I probably got caught up in my own excitement that I didn't really think it through. And I mean, listen, for what it cost me to hire him to do it, it's toilet tissue for me, what I paid him. So it is what it is. You live and you learn. But if you ever hear of a guy that come across named Thomas McCormick, this sucker is a con artist, and my lawyer will be contacting his ass.
Irish student McCormick.
I don't know what he's, a piece of so yeah, there that is. And I gotta be honest, as great as it would have been to do all those, for me the excitement was gonna be Not Today, Pal. Again, with the actors who played Meadow and AJ Soprano.
Yeah.
And that still could possibly happen. I just have to go through different channels. Because one of the things that this guy kept constantly telling me was, I already talked to him, you're booked, they're excited to have you. So, and then all of a sudden we get maybe 3-4 days out from coming to Austin. This nigga's not returning calls. He's not returning text messages. And, I don't know what it is, if it's a pride thing or you just trying to save your ass. But a couple times, and the whole time I'm being as cordial as possible. Once it starts to sink in that something ain't right, my language started getting stronger. And then that's what he would respond back. And he told me something about, I ain't had my phone on me because I've been in the hospital for 14 days.
Oh.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So
once the hospital enters.
Right. You smell the yeah, so
I've been in the hospital and
yeah, my phone and all this other,
and then on intensive CPR and
yeah,
RAC, and I got DVDs.
Thomas McCormick, I'm coming for you, you piece of shit. I should try to call that right now and see what he says. I bet you he wouldn't even answer the phone.
I bet you he's not going to answer.
I saw this clip.
Oh, Miranda number. Hell.
Call from random number. I told you about this clip I saw, and you kind of gave your 2 cents on it, but hoping you can kind of reiterate. Very rarely do we see certain celebrities lash out. And I'm sure a lot of people have seen this clip where Denzel is sitting in an SUV. He's got the window rolled down, and I guess some guy, he just started off saying some foul to D. And he was like, something about him drinking, because I didn't even know that Denzel had a drinking problem, but he says he's been 15 years sober. So then the clip just opens up, and you don't see the guy, but you hear him. And Denzel says to him, get away from me. And the guy goes, it's like that? Denzel goes, yeah, it's like that. And he goes, man, you probably just been drinking. Maybe you need a drink or something. He said, I've been sober for 15 years. And then it gets a little heated. And then Denzel brings up some religious thing on his phone, because Denzel is very a man of faith. And he calls the guy over and he goes, you see that? I see something with God. And when you mess with something. And I was just like, again, I would feel like such a piece of pissing anybody off. I don't think it should matter whether you're famous or not, but damn, man, you feel good about that? People are such assholes.
People think that they're entitled to famous people because they're famous because people know them and recognize them and have put them on a pedestal, so they believe that those people owe them a conversation, words. They're not owed anything. I don't understand why they do this to people that are, the word celebrity is a weird word, and fame is a weird word if you think about it, because what
You
happened?
didn't hit record on that.
Are you serious?
Yep, that's why I just hit
Well,
it.
we have it on this other stuff, but Jesus, I thought I did.
You didn't.
I lost my whole place where I was on that.
People feel entitled.
Oh, entitled, but fame. Fame is a weird. All fame is that the person, you are talking to someone that everybody knows and no one knows you.
Yeah.
That's what fame is. So you're going to have a conversation with someone that you know everything about them because you read where they're from. It's funny with you when you say I'm from New York and they go, but you're actually from Chicago, right? Because you were born, and then you go, no, I was born in Chicago, but I was raised.
Wikipedia right there.
Yeah, because they know you. You don't know where they were born. You don't know what these people know what you like to eat. These people know they know like they have a relationship with you. But you don't have a relationship with them, is what I'm saying. Famous people don't have a relationship with the people that have invented a relationship with that person that they went to talk to. And when they don't get what they want, then they go to that, you need a drink.
We know that sometimes it ain't even about them getting what they want. They just going for the content. If I piss Denzel off and get this on camera.
But that's a whole new thing that I'm not even. We're not part of that. That we didn't grow up in a time when
you a whole nother special kind of anus.
Yeah,
if you do that for that reason.
You're just trying to get to improve your feed. This is another what is that called? Troll. This is another kind of troll, man. They're coming at you just for those reasons, and that's I'm not even familiar with that. That's not in my.
Was it like a paparazzi situation?
No, it was just a random dude on the street with a cell phone. And I've seen clips where Denzel.
That could be paparazzi too. They do that.
Well, I mean, I know, but I didn't sense that this was that. I could be wrong, but I've seen clips where Denzel will be in the SUV and he rides with the window down. So if he's in a moment of stopped traffic and somebody catches his gaze, they get excited, but. I don't know. I just would feel like you just pissed Denzel Washington off.
But see, that's also part of it for you because Denzel is famous to you.
He's famous to everybody.
No. But to you, he's famous. Not everybody's famous to you. What I'm saying is, my definition is fame is that you're talking to someone that you know about them, but they don't know anything about you. Where in this situation, you're usually the famous person, but to you, Denzel is someone that you know things about, but right. Denzel doesn't necessarily know everything about you the same way. So he's famous to you, so you're protective of him.
Right. Well, he knows a little bit about me.
Okay, yeah. But you know what I'm trying. What I'm saying.
Yeah. That's why I call him D, because when like I said, he was my manager back then. Norm Nixon and Denzel have always been tight, best friends, and when I would be over Norm's house, Denzel would come over. So a lot of times I'd be like, "Yo, what up, D?" And I call him D. But yeah.
He's not going to call you out if you say you're from New York. He's not going to go, "Well, Aries,
right.
I know all this about you, and you're really from Chicago." And he's not. It's different.
Yeah.
So I know
Can
who
you
you have.
that air, because we can hear that.
I know you have soft spots in your heart for certain people.
The wall. It's on the wall.
Cool.
It's very interesting going on here today.
Yeah.
Dude, Aries, you're running the show. You're changing the volume. You're doing the sound. Man. This is a big day for you here.
Yeah, I know. Something I forgot to mention the last time we did this that I wanted to put you guys on to. And usually you guys put me on or us on to things to watch on Netflix or whatever. But I want to put you guys on to something. You know how much I love Jason Bateman. I say over and over, that's a bad because he can do acting, dramatic work, and comedic work and be just as potent in both. But there's a series, I think it's 8 episodes on Netflix with him and Jude Law called Black Rabbit.
That ain't good?
Huh?
That ain't good?
Awesome. And he plays like a dude with a gambling addiction. And his brother, who's Jude Law, is like the opposite of him, successful and ambitious, and Justin is like a loser. So he gets himself deep in debt with some heavy hitters, and that's all I'm gonna tell you. But Jason Bateman, man, goddamn, and that ending. So Black Rabbit on Netflix.
How's Jude Law in it?
He's good too, and when I say I've never been a Jude Law fan, not saying that I don't like him, I just never knew or watched enough of his work, I never really watched enough of his work or saw anything that he ever did that made me passionate about wanting to see more.
Yeah.
But he's great in it. He's great at it. It's a great series, man.
I'm going to check it out. We got a lot to watch though. There's a lot going on right now. We got a lot.
What else?
Because of the things we've been watching. What's the new the series that Cole's told you about that you've already watched? The Martin Scorsese thing. Right?
Right. That's 5 episodes. It's on Apple TV. I'm 2 episodes in. It's called Mr. Scorsese on Apple TV. So we're gonna probably talk about that next week. So you guys got a week head start to check that out because he's one of the most badass directors to ever exist. And off the top, I wanted to ask you this, which obviously I would ask you when we talk about the episode, but I'm just curious. I'll just throw this one out there. I saw the three great documentaries, one about Spielberg, Brian De Palma, and now the Scorsese one. If you had to have one of those 3 directors go, I'm going to do the Andy Steinberg life story, who directs that? Spielberg, Brian De Palma, or Martin Scorsese?
Scorsese's out.
Why is he out?
Because I'm not like
Italian?
and he need. I would.
I know where this is going.
I would lean into it.
I know where this is going.
De Palma, I kind of like the idea of him doing it only because of some of the more gritty events that have happened in my life.
Yeah. But
Spielberg,
Berg.
yeah. I probably gonna, but he's also the most. When I say professional, I mean he's the studio guy, where these other guys were more independent.
Oh, you know what I forgot to throw in there? Quentin Tarantino.
I'd have Quentin Tarantino directed.
Over Spielberg.
Yeah,
gonna be a lot of blood in there.
Now I think that it would be really interesting. I would love to see myself,
especially on the gritty parts.
Yes, I would love to see myself bigger than my stuff. To me is like the things I did and the little grittier stuff. It's like it's to compare to what people have done. It's small potatoes, but if Quentin did it, it would look really
right.
It would look bigger. You know?
Yeah.
I think Spielberg would play it the way it is, and I would just look like some regular guy. But I think the music that Quentin Tarantino would bring in, the shots, the way it would look, and he'd give me a different edge. So for my own personal self, I would take Quentin Tarantino. If I wanted to be authentic, I would take Spielberg.
Wow.
But De Palma would be interesting because he could really grit it. That he could take that stuff and turn that up, and then he could do the regular life, and I think it would be interesting.
Yeah, I like how you just went. Scorsese's out.
But it doesn't fit because then I'd want to do it. I mean, I grew up in an Italian. My stepfather was Italian. I know that lifestyle. I know that it would be portrayed differently, and that's not what mine was. And I love it. I love watching it, and I feel connected to that because of my that part of my stepfather and his family. I feel connected to it, understanding it, but that just doesn't feel like my vibe.
I could just see Tarantino doing the scene where with your mom, and he's explaining to her, all right, now the part where you call Andy's comic friend nigger, I really want you to emphasize that.
And you got to say it 8 times. You got to say it 8 times. Dude, who would you do? Who would the same directors? Who would you do?
You know this.
Or I'll let you throw in Ryan Coogler.
See, okay. Because this was going to, again, I watched the first 2 episodes, and that was one of the questions I was going to ask, and this was another thing I was going to bring up. But I still got 3 episodes to go, so I'll go ahead and bring it up. Because I thought about that, and I just went, because I know if I don't say somebody black people will get on me. But I go, what black director outside of Spike Lee has there been in Hollywood who has an extensive body of work and has the cachet and the success of those guys? And other than Spike, to me, nobody. Because if you think about it, you might say John Singleton, but he died.
Yeah,
and really,
he's unavailable.
He's unavailable, but not only that, when I think John, Boys in the Hood, Poetic Justice, I really can't name Singleton movies past that hold weight. And who else you talking about? The Hughes brothers, they did Menace to Society, but that was pretty much it. The Hudlin brothers, they're more comedic. The newer directors, Antoine Fuqua, F. Gary Gray, again, they don't have a body of work as extensive as those white directors. So other than Spike Lee, which if I'm being honest, I don't think he's at their level. But Spike is the only brother that I know that has that long a track record and has been in the game long.
See, I'm going to disagree with you.
So you say, oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
But remember, you're going to disagree with me. Ryan Coogler is a phenomenal director. I think he's had 3 movies, maybe 4, all over 100 million. But he's new. He just started.
And I'll tell you why I think he's a problem for you. But keep going.
No, that's it.
Okay. I think when you reach a certain age, and you made it very easy for me because these guys are all older than me. The guys that you listed, except for Quentin Tarantino, we're the same age.
Right.
I think I might be a little older, but I think it's important to have someone, if you're going to tell a documentary, you're going to tell a story, the things we do when we're young are completely different than the things we do when we're older. Not necessarily completely, but the reasons why we might do them are different. What the cause and effect of where we are today is different. And I want someone that feels that and can project that along the way as well. So for me, it's very easy because I had a choice because they're all older. They all started off young in directing. And so they have that whole arc for me.
Right.
I was thinking about the directors. I disagree with what you said about Spike only because Spike his directing style is so incredible that that it's Spike. He has a texture that I really appreciate in his movies. Now maybe it's something you don't appreciate because maybe he could have used him a little less so that it didn't sometimes overwhelm or people go, that's Spike. When people do something and it's done well and then they use it again and again, then people get annoyed with it.
Right.
And that's the only part that I think was Spike.
And now that I think about it, of those choices, it would have to be Spike.
Yeah. Because
that cultural texture.
And that arc, he has the age.
Yeah, I just got to be used to talking and doing this. Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, come on. Let's try it just once.
Oh, you're going to bring the cat? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I can't wait to finish watching that. Like I said, I'm 2 episodes in. I got 3 to go. And you know what? My thinking is always, even when I want it, I want to dive into it so badly that I went, I'm going to watch the last 3 episodes in my hotel. But then I go, I don't want to do that because when I travel, I need something to kill that time while I'm flying.
Yeah.
But now what my concern is, I saw 2 clips on the internet today about because of this government shutdown, flying is about to be massive delays, massive lines. And I'm going, instead of watching it in flight, I'll probably be watching it at the airport.
Yeah. Yeah, but you might be watching on the plane too because it's going to take a while to land because they don't have enough air traffic controllers. I told Tara that. She was waiting for it. She goes, what time are you getting in? I go, don't worry about what time I'm getting in. Let's make this a window because I'm flying into one of the worst airports for...
They said, I forget the 8 major cities they named, but Newark was definitely one of them. Dallas was one of them. And I'm like,
we're lucky leaving out of Austin.
Right. Because I was like, I'm in Texas, but then I remembered it was a direct flight.
Yeah.
Jesus, man.
But LAX, but you're going to Hollywood or what's your airport?
No, I'm going to LAX.
Are you going to LAX?
There was issues at Burbank.
There was.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They said for 6 hours, air traffic control was shut down.
It serves you Hollywood people right.
I love when somebody in the comments about the airport delays and the government shutdowns said, so is America great yet?
Well, you know how much better America... sometimes you have to take away some things so that you can appreciate what you did have. I'm just saying, we need to get this government shutdown over. I hope this is...
Please, because I don't want to deal with this shit with the flights.
No. And,
God.
While Congress, I hope people start saying this because we keep saying the Republican and Democrat. Congress has this shutdown. We can go Republican and Democrat. I have my own feelings on that, but that's not important. Congress has this shut down, and I don't understand how.
It's Donald Trump.
No, it's.
I think they're echoing whatever he wants to do.
Who is echoing it?
The Republicans.
What are they echoing? What does he want to do?
And so it begins.
No. I just want to know what he wants to do because he said something. I really want to understand what he wants to do.
I think it's a top-down decision making. If Donald Trump wanted them to get a deal made or reopen the government, they would do it. But I think it's
But how did
Trump's playing hardball.
how are they going to do that?
Dems are playing hardball.
How are they going to do that? But playing hardball with what?
Compromise?
What's the compromise?
I think right now they don't want the ACA to expire. The credits.
Okay, yeah, but that's not what they voted for. We've already voted for this, and it's supposed to be a clean bill so that we can start the government and the negotiations begin. Isn't that what they did to the Republicans?
I don't know the details, but
yeah, you don't know the
that's what
details,
they're-
but then you went Donald Trump. This is why I think sometimes. This is why I think, and I get mad at you, is because you just say with no reason why.
So you're telling me the health credits have nothing to do with it?
No, they want the health credits, but that's supposed to be negotiated. We got to open the government. You negotiate the health credits. You don't negotiate on something that you've already agreed on.
If I had a director to do my life, I think it'd be Tyler Perry.
Hello.
There's someone gayer than Tyler Perry that you could get.
I don't know who the gay directors are. I know who the white ones are. I know who the black ones are. I know a few women, but I don't know who the homosexuals are.
I think you got to bring out that feminine side of you.
You know, I saw a thing on the internet because the Dodgers just won the World Series. Man, I lost my shit. They had pictures of Magic and all the championships he's won, not just as a player, but as an owner. So I didn't know he won one in soccer. He's won 3 in baseball.
But he won 2 in a row.
Right. He won 5 as a player, right? So
And he won some of those in a row.
Yeah. So what is that? That's 5, 8, 6. Then he as an owner, he won with the Lakers. The Kobe years, Shaq years. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9. And are you looking it up, Mark?
No, I was gonna bury Andy.
Go ahead,
What do you
try.
want-
No. And this is what somebody said about the comments. This got a computer in front of him, and we be searching for shit when he should automatically be bringing it up. You should automatically be typing it right now.
I was in the past.
Okay, but how many championships? Anyway, it was a plethora of championships, and somebody said in the comments, he don't know how to raise a son, but he damn sure know how to raise them banners.
Dude, you know what I would have liked?
God.
You know what I would like to have seen though? Just one, just come out like in the very first inning, and just like be the catcher or be like play. I don't know, just a position for one play, just so he could be like as a championship, not only as the owner but as a player, just for fun, man. Because
5 NBA championships.
No, you're supposed to say how many championships does Magic have in total?
we know how many championships.
It
he has.
doesn't matter. We
We moved on.
yeah.
The bus left.
Not quite following.
If you want to try to bury Andy, you got like 2 minutes because I want to get into this
Move on
James.
to the next thing. We'll
Well, no. I want to get into this James Mansfield thing, and I know how.
Oh, but I wanted to talk to something that I think is very important to our podcast and success of what we're about to do. Aries is starting his world tour. And when is that? You got that, Mark? Do you got those dates?
Yeah, that's going to be from March 24th, 2026 to April 4th, 2026.
Listen to the dates of where the places we're going.
March 24th, Stockholm, Sweden. March 25th, Oslo, Norway. March 27th, Berlin, Germany. March 29th, the Netherlands. March 31st, Brussels, Belgium. April 1st, Paris. April 2nd, Manchester. April 3rd, Birmingham. April 4th, London.
And 3 cities in London, right?
Yeah.
Or yeah.
Well, no,
UK.
London and the UK. We got London. Is it Manchester is one of them or not?
Yeah, Manchester. We'll be at Albert Hall.
And then come they bring them reps, and everybody go see it cup. Cause when we pop, and look, anybody gonna do what you gonna do?
Dude, I'm so excited for this tour. Because you know what you've said to me before when I first started going on the road with you, you're going to really know how your comedy works when you go to these different cities.
Yeah.
Now we're going to go and do different countries. Yeah, I'm just going to say it. I have to thank you because this isn't my career that I'm getting to do this with. It's yours. And I really appreciate it because the idea that I'm going to get to go and actually say words in other countries and hopefully make somebody laugh. I don't know how it's going to translate, but I'm excited to even see how that works out.
Yeah, I'm glad you're going too, because I'm gonna be nervous as if I had to hit a cold stage without being able to see how you test the waters a little bit. And you know, it I remember the first time I did this, it took me about 3 shows to get acclimated before I was able to go, oh, okay. I see how to maneuver now. But for the first 3 shows, it was especially when I did Scotland. It was just like,
Because it's completely different than
you
anything.
know, school. That whole thing, I was like, what the?
What is the first place we is it Oslo?
Sweden.
Stockholm. I wonder how, you know, a place I've never been. I don't have any connection. It's going to be so interesting to see how that works.
Yeah, but you know what? A good chunk of your material is based on human experience.
Yeah.
And that's relatable no matter where you go. Everybody's got an autistic kid somewhere.
But I'm so about my human experiences, and I talk about the darkest parts of them. So it's
my specific.
Yeah.
You know, race specific, cultural specific.
A lot of culture in yours.
When you were when you went to Europe the first time or whatever, did you change your act around like after that first time?
There were certain things I just knew I couldn't do anymore. Like this is not gonna fly here. They just right over their heads. So, you know, I had to omit certain things.
How does when you do, and I know that this isn't a major part of your act, and I don't know how much you'll insert it there, but when you do the impressions of American rappers, does that go?
That kills that because they know that
they're dying for that.
If they don't know nothing else, they know that.
Yeah, okay.
You know, certain pop culture things they're very
that's there no matter what.
Yeah.
I want to know. I want when are we have a day off that we get to go to Amsterdam, right? Because it's right by one of the places that we're going.
Yes.
I want some of these. I want an edible in Amsterdam.
So, yeah. So in Germany is 27th, and then 28th day off, 29th Netherlands, and then the day after too is we have off.
And I think I have to have a very serious talk with Tara before I go out there.
Why?
Because I think that in another country, if blowjobs are done at the window,
she should be hitting you off at the crib.
Well, she should be okay. She should be okay with it. She should be like,
I'm with you.
You know,
if you need me to help you with that talk, I'll be there for you.
Hey Tara, is it okay? Like if it's, you know, she should just give me a budget.
You know what I'm saying? Shit. Okay, so this documentary that I watched via Andy's suggestion, My Mom, what was it called?
My Mom Jane.
My Mom Jane, about actress Jane Mansfield, who was really huge in the 50s and her daughter
Mariska Hargitay. Mariska Hargitay
played one of the lead detectives on Law and Order.
For 100 years.
SVU, yeah.
And yeah, so she's part of our life. I mean, we turn on the TV, she's been in our life for a lot of years.
And just to give you some context into this, because as I'm watching this, yes, there's a lot of unfolding about Jane Mansfield herself, but what you later find out is that Mariska, who also was called Maria, she thought that her dad...
You give it away at the end.
Well, we got to talk about it, so there's nothing to hide.
Yeah.
Her dad, her then dad at the time, was her real dad, only to find out he wasn't.
But he was. But he wasn't
biologically. And this was a huge blow to her. And she didn't know that her mother had an affair with an Italian dude. And
when she was in Italy. But they were in Italy at one point, but it was when they were in Europe.
But she didn't know about her real dad until later. And then also her other 2 siblings. She had 2 sisters that came from this Italian dude. So it's one of those things where it's about, you know, someone who felt like they don't feel like they don't know where they belong. They feel like their life was a lie. They were lied to, manipulated, you know, all that trauma.
But we see this because she doesn't know this as we start the documentary.
Yeah.
This really unfolds, and this is why I wanted you. This is why I suggested it for this, because it was really, when I first started to watch it, I thought, okay, this will be a cute story. I know who these people are. Let's see it. And when it starts to unfold and you're watching her go through this, and like I said, what is fame? Me knowing, I know who Mariska is, Mariska Hargitay. I don't know her, obviously, but I know who she is. Yeah. She comes into my house probably about 4 or 5 times a day, accidentally, if nothing else, just because she's on Law and Order SVU.
Yeah.
And to see, you know, you think people that are famous, and then you hear I knew that she was Jane Mansfield's daughter, and so I was like, what does this person have to be, sad about it and all this, You start to, we realize that everybody has these stories, and it hit me because I was like, this was really interesting. I had no idea, and obviously she had no idea, so it became even more important to the story.
Off the top, when they start showing you who Jane Mansfield was,
a 16-year-old pregnant girl.
Yeah,
That's how it starts.
At one point, during the rise of her career, I think she's on Time magazine, and it said in letters, something, and they proceeded to say on the cover, they called her a dumb blonde, and both in print and in interviews, they would allude to her being the bimbo, the dumb blonde. And it automatically made my man come to mind. Brett Butler, yeah? The 1950s. What a glorious time for white men. Niggas stayed in their place, and everything was whitely homogenized. And you could call a woman a dumb blonde openly, and if she dared speak back, you could use your fist to turn her into Rocket the Raccoon from Guardians of the Galaxy. And if the police found out, they would ask the man if he was all right, then split a brewski with him. What a glorious time. Brett Butler, yeah? Now, as much as I've brought some hilarity to that, there's a moment in this that really pissed me off. Because, look, listen, we talking about the 50s, at a time when Hollywood was rampantly run by only white men. And much of America was ruled by white men. And I mean, flash forward to 2025, there are powerful women in positions in Hollywood, producers, directors, studio heads, network people, and just like in real life, women with businesses, successful. But at that time, women were put in a box, and you could only be that. Now, you might have an exception to the rule, a la an Elizabeth Taylor, but for the most part, her, Marilyn Monroe, blonde, beautiful, perky tits, nice legs. And this woman, Jane Mansfield, could really act. And when they showed some of her work, she could really act. But she became this character. I'm the dumb blonde. She had her voice. She talked a certain way. She was dumb and blonde and naive. And she also could play violin and the piano. This woman was fiercely talented. And there's a moment where she's on this late night talk show, and the host, the guy, is sitting next to her.
Parr. It's Parr.
Is it Jack Parr?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's Jack Parr.
I don't think it's Jack Parr.
That's the show that she was on. I don't know.
She's been on several shows.
Okay.
But I don't think this was anybody. But anyway, she proceeds to say to him, I can play the violin. So as she's giving him a sample of her violin abilities, she's not even 30 seconds into it. And the guy says to her, oh, who cares? Just kiss me.
Well, he was joking about the idea that that's all anybody cares about. It was a joke.
Well,
and it was Jack Parr because he had her on to play the violin.
Yeah, but there was still some of that male chauvinistic.
Of course.
Right. Okay. So, and this is where I go. White male superiority really pisses me the off because I feel like up until the last 5 to 7 years, where white men have now been vilified to the point where they're starting to fight back. They're tired of being made to feel like they're the villains. It's almost like a white male in America can't be proud or can't be that. Like he's a villain because he's been the villain for so long. And it just felt like, you know what? Okay, the chickens have come home to roost. And I also, when you look at what she went through because of those restraints, because of those those parameters that they put her in, I said to myself, you would think that black people and white women would have a better relationship because we've both had to deal with the white man's. But then this is why Dave Chappelle's joke is so brilliant. Yeah, we both had to deal with it, but the fact that you're still white gives you the protection we've never had. The fact that she's still white has doors open to her that for a long time weren't open to us. Hence Dave's joke. Oh, women suffer. Yeah, I know. Women suffer. Yeah, you do. Women suffer. Just like black people. Slow your roll. You do suffer. But you were in on the heist. You just didn't like your cut.
It's Bill Burr, too, when he says that you got to the same jacuzzi that I did.
Right.
You know, so yes. I I think that I think and what you're saying is so real because you have proof because it wasn't just Jane Mansfield. It was also Marilyn Monroe. Anytime that they could, and there's Raquel Welch. She wasn't blonde, but she was the big boobed girl. There's Sophia Loren. They put these women in these places because
as sex possessions,
and that's all that they were supposed to be. And they had to follow this. You know who is a good example of this too? But it's really funny because I think humor wins on this one because Lucille Ball is actually when she was younger, was a very beautiful woman.
Yeah.
And she had acting roles, and she kind of broke away. She married Desi Arnaz. They did the Lucy show, and they became huge. Like, she became like a mogul. She was one of the first women because she did it her Desi Lou Studios, where they opened up their own studio. They did everything on film, and they kept the rights to their project.
Yeah, so like I said, Elizabeth Taylor, there are some that slipped through the cracks.
But I'm saying, yes, that's what they did. If you didn't figure out a way to maneuver your way to the front of the line and position yourself, you were going to be in that situation.
Dude, and listen, Marilyn Monroe, died of an overdose, pills. And what's so sad is that, God, man, when they show her meteoric rise, and she was the hottest thing, she was the girl. And then to go from that to dancing in nightclubs where,
and doing like a little skit.
Just to do skits and booty shakes. And it drove her to the bottle.
And talk like she had to talk.
Right, and it drove her to depression. And I just went, Jesus Christ, man. And if that's not bad enough, and I'm sorry I'm going there, but I'm actually going to go there twice. I don't think we'll have enough time to talk about the mob thing.
No, I'm not going to. I didn't think we would.
Yeah, and incidentally, what was it called? The Mob War. What was it called? Mob versus Philly?
Philly versus...
Mob
versus Philly, is it?
Mark, look up Netflix, Mob and Philly. But anyway, we might even be able to combine that with the Scorsese next week, since we're going to be talking about... Did
you like that one, by the way?
Because
you did.
I loved it. There's only 3 episodes of that, and I actually have some notes on that. But
Mob War, Philadelphia versus the Mafia.
So check that out, too. So when we talk about that next week, you're on board. Now, back to what I'm about to say. There's a moment in this and in the Mob War thing that just made me go, what the f-? And again, people, I'm not about to say something you haven't heard before, but to me, the greatest mystery in life to me is this God thing. Because I'm like, so she was pigeonholed her whole career damn near, driven to the bottle, depression, going from a hot superstar to dancing in nightclubs, and then you die in a horrific car accident.
What they didn't show you in this, and I was happy that they didn't do that because this is Mariska's, this is her journey. But she was decapitated in that accident.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, well, then there's that too.
Yeah, that did you saw the car? The car is just
yes.
So that's why everybody in the front died, and because the car basically just ripped off the whole top of the.
They didn't even say what he crashed into. What did he do for that to be that devastating?
Mark, can you look that up?
What the did he crash into?
Another car ran over. Basically, I don't know if it's a truck. I thought it was a semi that went over the top of him and ripped off the whole top. That's why the kids in the back all lived. Everybody in the back lived. Because it went over it just ripped off the front.
But meanwhile, the guy who's an asshole, sexist, racist, chauvinistic, misogynist, he's breathing, he's fine. But I'm telling you, man, I don't know. I don't care how many times you have to explain it to me. This makes so little sense that I go, there can't be a God, man.
Dude, where does it say life is supposed to be fair?
I know, but my T-shirt, I understand it ain't supposed to be fair, but why does it go out of its way to be cruel? Cruel. Like, at no point does life or karma or the universe or any of the cosmic powers go, this woman's career is failing, she's getting divorced, she's on pills, she's depressed. All right, let her die, but leave her head on. Life's got to put its all the way in your ass. Double penetration, triple penetration, the butthole, the vagina, and the mouth.
Airtight.
Airtight. Oh, man.
You know, and the hardest, you know, that's the thing that I never put that together. And it sounds ridiculous. I never put it together because I knew that Jay Mansfield was Mariska's parent, you know. But I never realized that she was the one in the back seat. I know, you don't think about it. I see her on TV. She was the one in the car when that happened.
Right. And the other kids had a head wound. You saw the picture with him with the bandage covering damn near his whole half of his face. Because they didn't even know she was in the car. If her sister doesn't wake up and say, or her brother doesn't wake up and go, where's Maria? They don't go back and find her. If she would have been in a coma, so this is where life is fair. The brother woke up in time to say, where's Maria? That they could go back, go through the car, find her, and she lived. That's the fairest life gets. Oh, and here's what got me crazy about that.
Tractor trailer.
Here's what got me crazy.
They went underneath it, right?
Yeah.
Because he went right. I guess it slammed on its brakes, or they didn't know something happened, and it went right under it. That's how she got decapitated.
Yeah, there was some mosquito spray fog.
Mosquito spray fog. Okay.
But here's what got me crazy about that moment and got me to even writing this. So, her first husband, Jane Mansfield's first husband, was named Mickey. Once Jane and Mickey split, he got with his new chick. And so she's the stepmom to his kids. And as she's telling this story, she says, yeah, Maria, the youngest daughter, survived because she slid under the front seat. And then she says, thank God. Thank God. If God is real, that doesn't even happen. The moment doesn't even happen. What are you thanking him for?
God is not in charge of everything that happens here.
Oh my! But do you see how ridiculous that sounds? Thank God.
I think
you're thanking God for what?
I think that's more in general that she happened to be in the back seat and the car didn't kill her. The little girl got to live.
Thank God
the little girl got to live.
The most powerful entity in the universe. You're thanking him because the child was spared, but you couldn't use your powers to spare them all.
He didn't have to spare the child.
Oh, well, thank God.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know what to tell you. It's not fair.
God gave everyone free will, so things like this are going to happen.
That's absurd. That's absurd.
Well, we wouldn't, if God stopped everything from happening, we wouldn't have free will.
Well, then maybe we don't need free will.
We're proving
if it prevents horrific shit like that, maybe we don't need free will.
It's proving that we're not the humans that we think we are.
It's Adam and Eve, the result of the fall.
I only got 2 more notes on this, but we don't have a whole lot more to go. I actually felt bad when she married 3 times. 3 times. Mickey was her first.
And remember, she did have a kid when she was 16. That was the first daughter.
Yeah.
And he left.
And he left because she had dreams and aspirations of show business, and that's not what he wanted.
And being
to do.
successful,
right?
And he was not about it.
Brad Butler. Stay in your place. So there was that, but then the love of her life, you could tell, was Mickey.
Yeah, Mickey's the dude.
And
what a good dude. As you watch this,
man,
what a good dude.
And then she goes on to get with the second dude who was a director, and they said that she really got with him because he was a director and thought it was going to help her career, and it did nothing for her career.
Well, yeah, I think she wanted the safety of that director. Right. She thought that would allow her to be able to be more who she wanted to be.
And then on top of that,
but she liked Italians. That we did.
Well, before we get to that,
well, he was the director was Italian too.
Oh yeah, he was Italian, but he also was physically abusive.
Yeah.
And then the third dude she got with was her divorce lawyer, and then somewhere in the midst of all of that, she with the Italian.
Mm-hmm. Well, her and Mickey were supposed to be back together.
Right, be back together, and I just felt bad because I was like, yo, you could see that Mickey was the dude for her, and she divorced him. Not because he cheated or he was up. She just got tired of him and, her had a wandering eye, and that's what happened. But I felt like when she left him, she herself, man.
Yes, she did.
Because he was good for her.
He was good for her, and, he's just a good guy because, honestly, He always had feelings for her. That's you know that from watching this
Right.
and the documentary and the things that were said. And even his new wife said that he never didn't love her.
Right.
But what a good guy is that there's a point where like he could get back together with her, but he started this relationship with the stepmom.
Right.
I forgot her name. And he's such a good guy that he loved that woman. He wasn't gonna go backtrack and ruin that other woman's life and his life to go back with Jane. There's something about him. There's an honorable man in him. I don't know how to say it any other way. But when she meets the Italian guy, and this is what's hard for me. This is where I will have a lot because this is what made this documentary mean something to me. First of all, not to know that this has happened, to grow up and think that your dad is one person, and it is for all intents purposes that is her dad. Mickey's her dad.
Well, look, I love when Mickey said to her when she brought it to him that, "Hey, I've just found out I got a guy who's my real dad," and he adamantly and forcefully and angrily went, "I'm your dad, and you're my daughter." So if nothing else, I mean, he loved her to the death.
He's a stand-up guy.
Yeah.
But then the question is, why did he leave her with the grandmother? Or did the grandmother, or was it that he wanted to give some time to the grandmother and he went with the other two kids? Like they would go on vacation with the other two. The grandmother saying to her, and I love this thing when she says, it stood out to her, but she didn't know why. When the grandma says, she was talking about her dad and why she doesn't get to go on this vacation. And he said, basically, she goes, "I'm all you got." And she didn't know what that meant.
Right.
And I think that is it is kind of, it's telling. But then this Italian guy, he doesn't think they're together or that he's together. He starts this wild romance with her, and I got to be honest. No, it isn't good that he wasn't in her life or didn't pop up or didn't come to the rescue or any of these things. But he was a stand-up guy in a different kind of way. You could do the wrong things for the right reasons. And I think he was doing the wrong thing for the right reason. He didn't go when Jane Mansfield died. He didn't run back and say, "No, I'm your father." He believed that was the father that she knew and that wasn't going to benefit anyone for him stepping in.
Well, he was such a stand-up dude that he actually called Mickey and says to him, "I'll never do anything to embarrass you."
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other thing he said?
Or make you look bad. That's embarrassment.
Yeah, but he said something before embarrass you. But he said two main things. Something to the extent of, I know you're a great father. Please protect her, and I'll never do anything to embarrass you. So again, where you might get mad and think, "Oh, what an asshole. He has this daughter, and he doesn't want nothing to do with her. He won't claim her." But there was a lot to it. And like you said, wrong things for the right reasons. So you don't look at him and feel a certain way about him negatively. You go,
it him too.
I get it.
It hurt him.
Right.
You knew that it bothered him and that he was a better person than that. And I had a dad that knew that I was there. The door was open, and he never showed up. When I wanted him there. So, to see someone that was hurt that he couldn't be there when I had a dad that was narcissistic and self-serving. So I felt a different way. Like I felt I was impressed by that man. I was impressed by both those men, actually.
Yeah.
But you know who really pissed me off in this movie?
Jane Mansfield.
No, there's someone that really pisses me off besides Jane Mansfield.
Oh, let me guess. The guy that was the publicist?
Her assistant.
Yeah.
Who I love when he seems like a good guy throughout this whole doc. And then Mariska reads an excerpt from the book, and it's basically someone telling the truth about this relationship.
Yeah.
And basically put all of Mariska's secrets out there that she didn't even know. And I love when she says, "So you don't know it." She's reading, and then she looks up, and it's him, and she goes, "Did you think this was right to put this out?" And I love that scene where he had that guy who seemed like a good guy throughout this whole thing. Now he has to wrestle with the fact of what
And he
did.
apologized.
He apologized, but still, I still think he's a. because he was self-serving.
Yeah.
Out of all, how
When you try to sell a book,
you got to put out you got to put the juicy parts out
right,
there.
right.
That and then there's
You know what was never explained to me, or maybe I missed it. So who was the person that was cut out of the pictures?
it was
The Italian
No,
dude?
Mickey.
Why would she cut Mickey out?
She's so mad at him because she's not balanced in some aspect. She's mad because he was gone.
But that's her fault.
I know, but women,
Oh, women.
you answered that right.
right.
It's her fault, but he should, in a woman, in her eyes, he should have fought for her.
But you the one that wanted to go.
But you got to fight. If you really want me, don't you have to fight for me? I just watched this whole. I forgot what I saw this on. It was a quick thing that I saw, and it was about women who think that they need to be a challenge to keep the men interested. And there's this thing where, and I heard the guy saying, a challenge. I work all day long.
I don't wanna be challenged.
I'm challenged all day. I want to come home and have a space with love and connection, not a challenge. Why would I want to be challenged? But some of these women, this is a thought process that exists. No one wants to be challenged.
Dude, LL Cool J had this song that I absolutely love.
Women want to be challenged.
I think it's called This Is Us or Just Us. Where there's a part in the song where he talks about the shit that a man goes through. And like you just said, he just wants to come home. And he says some part about when I get home, I want to smell chicken on the stove, blunt roll, ready to go. I want you to call me Superman. Pull down my boxes by the Calvin Klein band. like sometimes as brutally, what's the word, crass as that may sound. When a man has worked his ass off, he's come home, he's a provider, he want to come home and smell something cooking. Get on your knees and just suck his. Don't challenge him with whatever you think he needs to be challenged with. Just, I'm telling you, unexpected head, unannounced head goes a long way, man.
Can I just feel good for a moment?
God damn it,
without
man.
owing anybody anything.
My God.
There's the scene, though. This is the most pivotal part to me in her relationships and why it fell apart with why she went back to Mickey after having this affair with the Italian dude. Because I think if she would have stuck with the Italian dude, if they could have figured that out, I think her life would have been way different.
Well, the breaking point is when she says to my man Nelson, she goes,
I got it written down right there.
how would you feel if I was
Would you be able to forgive me
pregnant?
with another man's baby?
And he said in so many words, how dare you say that
Yeah,
to
because
me?
it would be crazy if someone just said that to you. But the thing is, Mickey was willing to forgive her for that, and that's why she knew that.
So she lied to the Italian while pregnant with somebody else's child?
She lied to the no. She lied. Mickey was still wanting her back. She asked the Italian, "Are you as?" This is her judgment on how great Mickey was, and if the Italian would be as great. Would you be able to let me up like this and still want me? Because this guy over here, he's willing to have me back, knowing that I'm pregnant with your kid.
And they say men ain't.
So she goes back. The relationship still is going to fall apart. And that guy, I think, if she would have went with him, she might have had a career in Italy and had her own whole. It could have been.
Right.
I'm not saying that's what I'm saying she could have had everything she wanted, but she just that question. Could you imagine if you're in this whirlwind love affair with this woman and you know that she has this baggage or whatever that she has coming to you, and you're this guy trying to make it, and you know it's going to be hard for you, and then she says, "Would you be able to forgive me if I was pregnant with someone else's baby?" And I guess it's a valid question because she had someone that was willing to forgive her. Not only forgive her, but raise that child like it was his own.
Yeah.
And it shows that I think Mickey was an unbelievable man.
You know, I want to say this last thing before I get off this religion. You know what hurts me the most? What really breaks my heart? And maybe this is me being just naive and stupid. But I really, deep down in my soul, want to believe in God. I want to believe that all of this is for a reason. There's a purpose. Karma's real. But I swear, I want to believe it. But
Karma and God have nothing to do with each
Okay,
other.
well, fine, but it's all connected somehow through cosmic energy or whatever. But I'm saying that to say this: if I don't believe one, then why should I believe the rest? And I feel like, you know what? Every day that goes by, it's just something that's happening that's making me go, it ain't real, dog. God ain't real. God don't exist, man.
Okay, let me-
As badly as I like a kid at Christmas, I want to believe Santa's real. But I'm seeing more and more that just makes me go, this ain't mathing, dog.
Okay, let me give this to you and see if this does anything for you. You can do your math and you can do science the way that you want to, but at the end, if you believe, and there is nothing after this, then you just go to nothingness. But how would you like to wake up and find out you f***ed up and you didn't believe, and there is something that would be different, and you're not part of it now because...
I didn't believe.
Yeah.
So God's not going to let me into the nightclub because I didn't believe. So what happened to the part of him being merciful? Because if he's merciful, that means there's forgiveness. So why you going to punish me for something that, first of all, wasn't no real evidence that you existed in the first place? So we just going off faith. But now that I go, okay, so now you reveal yourself to me in death. And for that, I'm going to be punished?
So why should someone who has no faith be rewarded the same way that people with faith were?
People that are religious are getting erections because you just said that. I'm telling you, and this is the crazy part about it.
I'm just asking you to make sense out of it.
This is the crazy part about it. If you have people from one side and the other side that can give compelling intellectual arguments, you can be swayed almost either way. Because you'll say some things that I go, that kind of sounds like it makes sense. But then somebody else will say some shit where you go, yeah, that sounds like it makes sense too. So then what is it?
Well, nothing from nothing creates nothing. And we're here. So, and they say that there is no, in war, there is no atheist in a foxhole. Everybody wants to believe at that moment. So Mark is our resident atheist. What do you think, Mark?
Are you an atheist for real?
Yeah, I'm Jewish.
No, you
so is
don't.
he.
No, don't put those together because
Jews and atheists.
no, they
walk
don't.
hand in hand.
No, they don't at all. At
Yeah,
all.
they do.
No, they don't.
They don't?
No, not at all.
Are you for real a definition atheist? Are you for real or are you just being funny?
No, I think I'm an atheist.
So you don't believe in God?
No, not at all.
You don't believe in heaven, hell,
No.
Heaven and hell are a little weird to believe in, by the way.
but it's all associated.
You know, it's stories. What is heaven? What is hell? What is?
Why don't you believe in God? Because of science?
Yeah, I don't see like any. It's just like a fairy tale to me. I don't even understand how people
So how did we all get here? It was just the Big Bang?
possibly. I mean, maybe, but there was something probably before the Big Bang. Actually, it's like the Big Bang kept happening over and over and over again. And the point is we might not know exactly how everything happened, how life got started here on Earth, but
from nothing.
But we know you can't just because you don't know it be like, well, because it's God. Because that's happened every time in our history of everything in science where what we thought we knew, it was like that was God, but then it just turns out we figured out what it was. Then we pushed the goalpost back even farther, and now we're like, well, big God must have caused the Big Bang. So like, I don't see.
There is science now that says there is something that it's beyond our understanding. The science is beyond our understanding. So,
But what's that have to do with God and which God?
well,
And the only reason there's the Judeo-Christian God is because those were the that slaughtered people and spread their ideas the best.
no, that's not it.
I love when people ask the question, who made God?
Exactly. I think it's more possible, like the whole simulation thing, or that maybe this is all just.
We're living in a computer in his.
Well,
life
it could
at
be.
this
It could
point.
just be a computer, and like God could be some like fat IT dude who's just running. Not even like we're relevant. We could just be an offshoot of whatever they're trying to do in the computer program. Maybe they're trying to study some kind of algae on a planet like
And they were-
2 trillion
and they were
light
re-
years away, and we're just a consequence of that
And
computer program.
they were really bored, so they had us all start doing podcasts. So we had something to listen to.
But I don't know. Like, I'm not. You know, a lot of people believe that the Earth is 10,000 years old, and just on that basis, it's like I don't even know how like That's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
So, okay, then there's people who want to blend the science and just be like, Big Bang, God caused that, or whatever. Or it's really, you just grow up believing it. So now you got to put it in your perspective, everything, and say it's real. But like,
I think that we have so much access to other thought and other religions that we should be able to kind of work through this on ourselves without just saying you grew up like this. I think there is more to it now. But most people are affected by what they grew up with.
Grow up, believe what they do is because they were raised like that.
Okay, and it's a Jew that isn't really Jewish, because you're not Jewish. You're not. No, because you just said I'm an atheist, but then you don't believe in Torah, and a Jew has to believe in Torah.
What do you mean you have to believe in the Torah?
The Torah, you have to believe that that's the words of God.
Well, I thought you said, isn't Judaism somewhat of an ethnicity?
It can be an ethnicity. It is, okay. but you're not Jewish though if you don't believe
what do you mean?
in Torah.
I'm not Jewish.
You're not.
I checked all the boxes. I got bar mitzvah. Went on my birthright trip.
Like the beak on that says he's Jewish.
Yeah,
but you don't believe in Torah.
What do you mean believe in Torah?
You don't believe that's the word of God.
Most Jews don't believe it's the word of God.
Most? Weird. This is why I hate him. Because he says generalities like most, and that's not true.
Do you believe it?
Yes.
You believe in it?
Yes.
Did you get bar mitzvah?
Yes. No, I didn't get bar mitzvah.
What? See, look at this. You haven't even been through this. You're coming in here. I'm not a real Jew.
No, but I'm saying you.
Is your cut?
Yeah.
All right.
That's okay. That's okay.
It's a start.
It's a start. When you say most, I think it's hysterical.
All right, I'm gonna tell you how many Jews are atheists.
Do we really need that fun fact?
No, not really. We can move on.
No, that's it.
That's it? That's the show?
Yeah, that's it.
How about some dates? Hey, Mark, you really quick, do you want to give out those European dates real fast, and then I'll give out the American dates?
All right.
So remember, folks.
You guys can look it up yourself, though, how many Jews are atheists.
Check out Netflix's Mob War. It's a 3-part series. It's the mob versus Philly. And then also Mr. Scorsese on Apple TV. That's 5 episodes.
All right. So the European tour, March 24th, we'll be in Stockholm, Sweden, March 25th, Oslo, Norway, March 27th, Berlin, Germany, March 29th, Utrecht, Netherlands, March 31st, Brussels, Belgium, April 1st, Paris, France, April 2nd, Manchester, UK, April 3rd, Birmingham, UK, April 4th, London, UK.
And for the States, I think I got this. I don't think I have it updated, though. So tell me, what's the first date that you have on there? Because they didn't update this thing yet.
March 24th.
March 24th. Okay, next week when you guys hear this, because we're a little bit ahead, so you're going to hear this in Chicago. November 13th through the 16th, we're going to be at the Chicago Improv out in Schaumburg. November 21st to the 23rd, Oxnard, Levity Live. November 28th through the 30th, that's the Thanksgiving week, and Aries is going to be at the Fort Lauderdale Improv in, obviously, Florida, and I'm going to be back in Arizona at Stir Crazy Comedy Club. December 5th, we're going to be at Flagstar at the Westbury Music Fair. It's a big show, a really, really big show. You're selling a bunch of tickets out there.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a big event. I highly recommend coming out to it. I think we got over 2,000 people there right now. But that's December 5th at Flagstar at the Westbury Music Fair. December 6th, we're going to be at Veterans Memorial Auditorium out in Providence, Rhode Island. December 12th through the 13th, the Funny Bone in Orlando, Florida, making up for that show that Aries left you for to go to get
Blood Money, baby.
December 18th to the 20th, Cobb's Comedy Club out there in San Fran. And December 26th to the 28th, we're going to be at the Improv in Arlington, Texas. Oh, the new year, the end of the year, is that?
Oh, the Bahamas?
Yeah, is that coming together or not coming together?
You got to remind me sometimes. I got to talk to my agent.
So I'll leave the dates there.
You said what?
Nothing.
I'll leave the dates there, and then
What did you say?
we'll find out.
I said, was that a scam too?
What, the Bahamas?
Yeah.
No, I've been to the Bahamas before.
So we're working on a Bahamas thing, Bahamas peoples. So if you're out there, we're trying to get out there.
Come to the island, man. But that's Jamaica.
That's the show, man.
Spears and Steinberg.
Thanks for listening to the Spears and Steinberg podcast. For more information on where to find us on the internet, visit spearsburgpod.com.